Welcome, this is Tom Rush, Rush Reviews. Today I'd like to show you one from New Zealand. This knife is a carbon steel blade. It's what's referred to as a peasant knife. Well, that's at least what the manufacturer, Svord, New Zealand, call it. Now, they've put together a knife here that was designed back around 400 years ago, possibly well before that. It was a design from Bavaria, so it's referred to as the peasant knife. It's a simple friction folder. It simply has two halves sandwiched together with a Chicago screw there, tightened up, and away you go. You've got a very simplistic design here. So friction, closes up, there you go. And that is how you close it. You just grab it by the back there and open it up like so. Now, as you push in here, you want to make this pivot fairly tight so that it sort of, when you push it in, it really does lock there. Shouldn't do that while my hand's there, but you get the idea. So, yeah, look, this is not exactly as it was from the manufacturer Svord. It's actually been sanded back by myself and varnished and oiled with some stuff I got from the hardware store just to give it a little bit of luster. Use some steel wool to sort of bring out that wood grain a little bit more. And with a Weller soldering tool, I just burnt a couple of imprints on there with one of the designs they had included in the Weller soldering kit. So nothing special, just to jazz it up just a little bit. So sort of the thing you can do with these. They're pretty open to your own interpretation, and you can put your own scales on it if you wish to cut them out and shape them. There's not much to them, so it's pretty easy going. You've already got the Chicago screws, or whatever they're referred to, these screws. They're simplistic, do the job. Now, this one here is the standard size. Now, they've also got, I believe, a mini, and they used to have like a micro or extra small one. So this one's pretty big. So if you have a look at this one, let's put it next to a standard, believe that's a 3-inch opinel, just to give a little bit of a compare there. And you can see it's pretty much a little bit bigger, not a lot. Lengthwise of the blade, you look at the sharp edge, you're looking at, I'd say, yeah, roughly the same. Yeah, about the same blade length there, except one's a lot bigger knife all up, so depends what you prefer. This one's stainless. This one's what they refer to as a 15N20 on the Svord website. I'll get rid of that one, which is how they refer to this particular carbon steel. Now, I'm calling it carbon steel, but I think it's got very little carbon in 15N20. Like so much of a percent or something along those lines. So it's very low in carbon, to be honest. It's got nickel in it that makes it tough. It's like a tool steel. And also, they have also referred to it in the past as an L6, Alpha Larry 6. And it's a very tough steel that takes a fantastic edge, and really just keeps that edge for some time before it needs resharpening. It's very easy to sharpen when that time does come about. But I bought these knives. I've got that one. I've got that one. So the plastic handled one. They also used to come in an aluminium. I don't know that they do that anymore. and they also used to come in they also come in the plastic and the wood, and that one is the plastic. You can see which one's had more use. I want to keep that one nice, and this one is the user, and gives you some idea what it looks like with pretty light use over a 13-year period. See some surface rust on the blade there. Now with this particular steel, this L6 or 15N20, it's kind of like a 1075, 1095 carbon steel in the sense that it rusts really easy. So you leave this out in the weather, or if you don't dry it off properly and oil it, well, you're going to get some surface rust. Now I don't mind. I prefer not to have that there, but I'll clean that up, and that won't be much of an effort. But yeah, if you want to keep them looking good, keep some oil on them. And if you're using them for any sort of food prep, maybe a particular oil like a food safe oil would be a good idea. But I don't so much use this. I have used it for like chopping up tomatoes and that sort of thing, which it does a fantastic job. It's a fairly thin blade, it's quite slicey. But yeah, anyway, you've got to use this one for it to truly be appreciated. I mean, just if somebody, I bought a heap of these and actually gave them out as gifts to people. So I sort of did this sort of thing, and this is the worst. The rest were several coatings and steel wool polishing, and this one has only had one. So the others looked really pretty, but really popped, had nice wood grain. I picked the best of the wood grains, matched them up as best I could. So yeah, they're a nice gift, but I think I was the only one who really appreciated them, because once they sat there for a little while, they tended to get, they'd have a go of it, no doubt, and they'd rust up, and they'd be like, oh, this is no good. So yeah, it's one of the, it's a hard use steel, and it's one that has got to be looked after. So, or it'll start to look like that to begin with, and if you leave it longer, it'll look terrible. But this one's got a slight patina to it, and that's one thing I do like about them is if you stab it into something acidic like a tomato or an onion or something like that, it'll take literally half an hour and you'll have a patina on there that will somewhat help to reduce any surface rust that you'd normally get on it. So that's one thing you might want to try. But yeah, really not a great gift if people don't know about carbon steel and knives and how quickly they can rust. But they were designed by a gentleman called Brian Baker in New Zealand, and I believe he's in New Zealand, and he, I believe he's the owner of Svord. I'm not 100% sure about that, but don't quote me, but I think so, from what I can research and tell. So yeah, congrats to him for an excellent design based off a 400-year-old design. So well done for resurrecting it and bringing it back to life. I'm very impressed. Now, I was very impressed when I got these. Obviously, that's why I bought more to gifts and that sort of thing, and used them. But yeah, very comfortable handle. You've got plenty of it, so there's not much chance of this one getting away from you. Plenty of grip there. Is the grip fantastic? No, it's just plastic. It's a slightly rough textured plastic. So, but it's a plastic that doesn't, if you drop it, it doesn't break. It's not brittle, so it'll handle impacts and drops and all that sort of thing. But really is I could see this sort of being used in wine country. Well, I'm imagining things now, but they can cut the grapes and put them in the basket and that sort of thing. Hey, I don't know. I'm just making this up. But it seems like one of the uses, along with skinning, along with many other uses. One of the things I like about it is the fact you can just undo that screw there. And inside you've got obviously the blade. You've got a couple of washers, brass washers, that has that they rub along to make it easier to open and close. And then you've got a little pin in there that when you close this, that pin actually, there's one there, so as you close this up, well, just that one there actually, it hits there, or the pin in here, the brass pin. So that goes into this section here, this cutout section, and the other one could touch the, that's sort of, probably about there on the knife blade. It's never done any harm, so I mean, I don't squish it up or anything like that, but yeah. So you're looking at, as I say, made in New Zealand. You're looking at Woodall, I told you about the handle scales. The length of it, you're looking at 6 3/4 inch or 171 millimeters, which is roughly 17 centimetre overall, which is a fairly good size knife. You're looking at 8 3/8 inches. Oh, that was closed, sorry. That's 6 3/4 when it's closed. So in that closed position, 6 3/4. 171 mil, and in the open position you're looking at 8 3/8 of an inch, and you're looking at 211 mil or 21 centimeters in the overall length of the knife. So also the blade, you're looking at 3 1/8 of an inch or 80 mil on the length of the blade. So you've got a pretty good cutting edge there to work with. The handle, you're looking at 131 from the butt to the start of where it meets the blade. You're looking at 131 millimeters and 5 1/8 of an inch on the length of that handle. The screws on this, I'll open it up in a second and give you a quick look at it, but it's very comfortable in the hand, as I've already pointed out, because it's light. Once you've smoothed off the wood, they really do come rough. So when you get these, expect it to be unfinished almost. Probably it would be unacceptable, for instance, for Opinel to produce them in the same fashion. I don't think they would sell too well in the Opinel. So, but when you're buying one of these, you know you're buying a hard work knife that's pretty well got some of the best heat treating that I've ever seen, and well done to the boys doing the heat treatment on that, or girls. And also the price of it is, it's light, as I said, 61 grams in weight. Just double check that for you. Now this admittedly is the, I don't like that. Let's use this one. Weight, you're looking at 72 grams, so there you go. And the wood one, sometimes with the wood, this is why I actually went for the plastic, and this is something to keep in mind. Wood's one of those materials, obviously, that shrinks and expands. Plastic doesn't, so you just have to give it a little break that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that had really locked on, so these haven't been used for a while, but I'll just measure that one. 73, so they're saying on the website 61 grams, but clearly mine aren't. So yeah, within 10 grams, it's pretty light, and I'll just do a quick measurement on the blade stock thickness there. What are you looking at? You're looking at a 2.1 mil blade. You compare that to Opinel's, and I think Opinels is definitely thinner, and it is. It's about 1.7 roughly a 1.7 on the Opinel. So yeah, very thin and sliced the Opinel, but the heat treatment I don't believe is as good. And also this one's stainless. I do have carbon steel Opinels, but this one's stainless, so obviously it's not going to cut as well as the high carbon steel. But yeah, the price of it, you're looking at a very reasonable Australian $30 for this one here, which is pretty good. US, you're looking at $15. So when it comes to knives, everything seems to be about double the price here in Australia, which it's disagreeable. What can I say? It's annoying and kind of defeating when you see that you're spending twice as much as our friends across the pond. So anyway, it is what it is. So that's it there. Thought it was worth giving you a look. I will, however, open it up for you just to give you a look inside now. You might get a jump scare. It has not been open, this thing, for 13 years. So let's have a look. And before I do, in case I forget to mention it, obviously you've got the closing mechanism here, with the this coming out here, and that seat's in there, and you can put a lanyard on it if you so choose, which I did, just to be able to grab it quickly. But yeah, very simple knife. But let's show you how simple by giving you a quick look inside. Okay. Alright, then open, and what we've got, we have a little bit of a rusty blade there. As you can see, it's in need of some love. And on the back there, you can also see that it's got the stamped with the New Zealand Svord, the manufacturer, and place the manufacturer. And the handle, let's have a look what it looks like after all those years. Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? Oh, that is, I think that's some sort of, I don't know what that is. Plastic? I don't know. Anyway, that was just sitting around the pin there. That's gone now. Okay, so yeah, that's your little brass piece there that is just for when you close the two halves together, like so. They line up. Chicago screws along with the pin, everything just sort of finds its seated spot, and then you just squeeze it into place with the blade obviously in there, and you're away again once you put the screws in. So very simplistic. These just pop out like so, come out as you can see, and take them out. I won't do it, but yeah, very simplistic. So yeah, I'll have to clean this one up, but just to show you, I'll put it back together for now, and I'll show you that when this comes down, you see that right there, when that comes down it hits there. Gee, that's lined up pretty well compared to what I saw others, lucky me, and there you go, and you can see it's definitely hitting that brass Chicago screw there also. So yeah, you can remedy that, but it doesn't really worry me. It's never never affected the blade sharpness that I've noticed. I'm sure it has, but not that I've noticed. So yeah, simple as that. Put that back on. Ta-da. These back in. Oh, that's what it's from. Screwing that in and out, it's sort of stripped off some of the plastic and jammed it back down inside. So not much of a big deal there. Right. One. Now, how hard you do that up, of course, is going to depend on how loose the blade comes in and out. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. But let's just have a look. I think that's good. Yeah, see how loose that is? Let's bring that out a bit. Yeah, you can sort of see that's too loose. All right, so just want to tighten that up. Okay, tighten that up a bit. That up. Try that. And it's back, but I'd do it a bit tighter for safety. There you go. And she's good as new. Pretty straightforward. So you can imagine if you are working out in the field, cutting your grapes, or whatever else it is that you might be doing with this, you can, if it gets messed up, you can take it back, clean all the muck out of it, and just reassemble it. So there you go. I suppose you're not going to strip off any plastic with the wooden one, so you've got your option there. And of course you've got your different sizes as well. Well look, that's about all I'm going to tell you about that one. As far as the steel type goes, it's a 15N20, which is a carbon steel, or an L6, I might have mentioned that, I'm not sure. And it is, yeah, really tough stuff, and the heat treatment is fantastic. So by Brian Baker. So fantastic, great job, I love it. Now, I'll have many more coming up. If you'd like to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. And if you could also click the like button, it would help the algorithm. And any comments you want to put down, questions, I'm happy to answer them ASAP and get back to you and let you know. Okay, until the next one, thank you, goodbye, and have yourself a nice day.